Alright, Shalom, Shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out to prophesize the downfall of America and to wake up you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who, according to the Bible, are the true bloodline, biblical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now with that, we ain't got no time to waste, man. We about to get straight to the scriptures, and we gonna let the word of the Most High speak. I'm gonna say, call halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. That's all praises to the Most High in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Now, evil times is coming to America. Every city, every town, in every county, the God of this Bible is going to judge. You ain't got to believe it. You ain't got to accept it. You can continue doing what you're doing. But this is thus saith the Lord. Troubling times is coming to America. All right? So this is a wake-up call to you Israelites. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because believe it or not, the Most High, and I'm talking about the God of this Bible, the Most High is the only entity. He's the only source of power who's going to be able to redeem you and save you during these troubling times. We about to just get straight to the Bible, bro. Straight to the Bible. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. Now, who is the house of the Lord, right? You have been convinced and taught that the house of God is the Christian church. That's not the house of the Most High. And there's a reason why they taught you that. Not only to give you vain hope, but to take power away from these scriptures, bro. To invalidate these prophecies. Let's read that again. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. So judgment is going to begin with us because we're going to be the main ones affected by this government shutdown, right? By martial law, by insurrection, by an uproar of the people. We're going to be the main ones affected, and you know that. All of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans know that. We always the main ones afflicted whenever something negative comes to the streets of America, bro. But why is that? Because judgment starts with us. And even more, to be honest, to keep it in its context, is really talking about you Israelites who know you Israelites. Right? It's going to start with the house of the Most High. But further than that, it's going to begin with the Israelites who woke up to this truth, right? Who's supposed to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? The people who are out here are trying to bid out people back to the marriage. Those who are in the know, because when you know better, you're supposed to do better. So judgment is going to start with us, man. When all hell break loose in America, and y'all want to believe that it's far off, and like, oh, we got another 100 years in the world, and these so-called white people, listen, they can afford to plan far off. They already thinking about 2030 and 2035 and 2060. We can't afford to do that. You understand? But when all hell break loose, it's going to start with these people you see on the sign. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm going to give you an example or an analogy to help you better understand why the Most High, why judgment is going to start with us, right? Let's say, for instance, you brought your two kids to the park, right? Y'all at the playground, and you tell your two kids, listen, stand right here. I'm about to run to the car. I'm about to grab some sandwiches for y'all. Don't move. Stay right here. Don't go anywhere. You run to the car. You come back to the playground, and your two kids is on the basketball court with 17 other little children. When you approach your kids, you're not going to scream at those other children, right? Because they don't belong to you. They're somebody else's responsibility. You didn't tell them to stand put in the playground, right? To not move away from the swings. You told your kids to do that, and your kids only. So the only people you're going to yell at are your kids. The Most High is the same way. He gave our people laws, statutes, and commandments. He made a blood covenant with our forefathers. He chose us to be a special people. He separated us from the other nations. So when we go off, it's way worse than any other nation, bro. Because the Most High don't care about these other races. He don't care about these other nations. He's not dealing with them. He never have been and he never will. So judgment is going to begin with us because he gave us the laws, statutes, and commandments that we're supposed to be following. Okay? Let's get Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 6. We're going to start at verse 13. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, so that's from the homeless person all the way up to your Jay-Z's and your little babies and whatever rich celebrities you can possibly think of, right? Among our people. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, everyone is given to covetousness. So what does it mean to covet? It means to desire something, right? It means to desire, right? So all of our people desire to have a piece of the pie, right? You want the precious things of America. You want the house, you want the car, you want the women, you want the jewelry. That's all our people care about, bro. Making money, getting high, trying to figure out where I'm gonna get the next bag from. Let me go buy the new Jordans, right? Let me get all my kids some Air Force Ones. You feel me? Oh, I seen this nice Harley that I would love to get. Like our people, from the least of them, even to the greatest of them, are given to covetousness. They're not concerned with the Most High. They don't want to serve the Lord, right? They want to obtain items, material things. That's what the scripture is saying. It says, Salah. Okay. Every one of them is given to covetousness. And from the prophet, even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely, right? Speaking on the matter of not being able to trust anybody. You cannot trust your pastor, okay? The preacher of your church you cannot trust because everybody has dealt falsely. Like when you look at the situation that happened with Marvin Winans, bro, I'm surprised they even uploaded that on the internet, bro. That should not have been on the internet. He should have been ashamed of himself, bro. The members of his congregation, right? The people that's a part of his governing body. Like, how could you make somebody feel bad for not giving you $2,000, right? They had a whole line, and the only way you were allowed to get into this line is if you had an offering of $2,000. Like I said, I'm surprised they uploaded this on the internet, bro. This was wicked. He really shamed this woman because she was $800 short. She gave him $1,200, bro. This lady came and offered $1,200 in tithes. And this wicked nigga, Marvin Winans, had a nerve to shame her and demonize her. But these are your quote-unquote men of the Lord. These are your modern-day false prophets. Okay? These are your men of counsel who y'all trust in. But all of them have dealt falsely, bro. Let's continue. They have healed also the hurt of my people, slightly saying peace, peace, when there is no peace. Right, so they got our people believing that everything is going to be okay. Yeah, the government shut down and we don't know when food stamps coming back, but don't worry about it. Right, you got a federal judge demanding that Donald Trump restore food stamps. right? Like he got power to make Donald Trump give 40 million people SNAP benefits. But they do that purposely. Like, you gotta understand, man, all of these people on the same payroll. They'll have a federal judge demand that Donald Trump restore SNAP benefits. You understand? They'll have people that's a part of America's governing body act as if they actually care. That's a smoke screen. You understand? Like, that's an illusion. It's a facade. It's two wings on the same bird. They don't care, but they're telling our people that everything is gonna be okay. You got your black leaders and your black activists saying, you know, we're not gonna stand for this. I don't care what Donald Trump say. I don't care what the government say. We're gonna protest, and we're gonna make sure that our people get these food stamps. So now you got people in the ghettos, in the hood, and people that's actually struggling, who actually need those benefits, thinking that, you know, everything is gonna be okay. The white man can't take away food stamps forever, right? He can't do that, can he? You don't even know, bro. You're just so delusional, right? You're in denial. Our people are in denial. See, you've been trusting the system so long. You know, every time something went bad, yeah, you was down for a couple days, maybe a week or two, but eventually the so-called white man fixed it. So that's your expectation anytime something goes wrong, right? Yeah, our food stamps wasn't loaded on our card on November 1st, but by November 12th, you know, everything will be back. No, the Most High said that's a lie. They're telling our people peace, peace, when there is no peace. Ain't no peace coming to America. No peace at all. All hell is about to break loose. And that's thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Shalom, brother. Yo. Shalom, brother. All hell is going to break loose in the streets of America. That's why it's time for you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to wake up, man, and understand that you're trusting in a system that can't save you. But you don't gotta believe my words, right? Since everybody but claim to believe in the Bible, let's let thus saith the Lord speak. All right? That's what we're gonna do.